thrown it in the backseat of my Porsche, driven to my 80-acre estate in Malibu, California. Would have had one of my several scantily clad blonde females cook up the heart in a hearty boodle. I would invite a few industry friends over. We could sip expensive white wine and drink Perrier water and nip at leafy green salads and engage in small, meaningless conversation and dine on my father's heart. I think that would be a spiritual and intimate send-off. Now, for me, this would take a lot of intestinal fortitude because I am a vegetarian. But the opportunity to dine on my father's heart is one that is irresistible to me. Now, man, the fucking drag of this thing, man. You fly in an airplane, 10.5 hours, in this little airplane, and if the pilot's high or fucked up, you could crash it and just go, hey, we fucked up? And you come all the way out here, and you guys have a really nice place here, and they only give you 20 minutes. And I would really like to lay into this for a few days with y'all, but I'm kind of short on time tonight, so I'm gonna have to like wrap the shit up, you know. There's this little thing I wrote today, just because I just can't help myself, because I'm a very weak person. And this is just this thing. It doesn't even have a name. I've been walking down the streets here in good old Amsterdam, and I've been getting assaulted by the pulchritude of the local female population. I would be a liar if I said that I, Henry Rollins, of P.O. Box 2461, Redondo Beach, California, USA, would not like to personally adhere orally to the junction of the ambulatory limbs of some. That is to say, when I see some hot blonde Dutch woman walking down the street, I think about eating some pussy. You know what I'm talking about, and Lord have mercy. Anyhow, things get hard and things get wet, and all the priests, feminists, and hypocritic punk rockers howling at the moon and playing sad Joni Mitchell-esque songs on acoustic guitars in San Francisco coffee houses cannot stop this from happening. Have mercy, they will tell you that it is evil. With every erection, a sexist pig is born. With every drop of lubrication, another whore hits the streets. The holy ones who have risen above this lowly, disgusting activity don't fool me for a second. They just find more secretive and righteous ways to relieve their sexual tension. One goddamn thing's for sure. They don't do it with the lights on. Brothers and sisters, drop your drawers and get down before it's too late. Thank you.
The studio, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Not many people know you, but the few people that know you will know you as the singer from Black Flag. Do you often do poetry festivals, or do you do poems?
Oh, this is the first festival I've ever done, but I just finished a month of doing shows just on my own. I did a whole national tour of the U.S. just talking. So I do a lot of it. I do about between 30 and 50 shows a year, I guess, of just me talking, you know, with the band's doing something else.
Do you like Benjamin? He does a lot of social political comments in his poems. I know that the hardcore and punk movement started as a very political movement in the States.
Okay, well, I don't listen to any kind of punk rock, and I don't listen to any hardcore stuff. That's just for me personally, and personally, one of my favorite bands, I have tickets to go see the Grateful Dead when I get home from being in Amsterdam.
You gotta be kidding.
No, I'm gonna go be seeing them at the Long Beach Arena on the 17th, and so some kid living in his mother's house beating a snare drum, singing about some political guy he knows nothing about, to me is not a very hardcore experience and holds very little appeal or interest to me. So, I don't know. Yeah, political music really leaves me cold. It doesn't really do much for me. Because, I mean, you should read magazines and watch the news if you want to get into that, you know. I'd rather get more into soul.
That's interesting. I'll translate a little. Henry Rollins die dus vertelt dat hij zelf helemaal niet geïnteresseerd is in hardcore punkbands die politieke boodschappen uitdragen. Hij wil die zaken liever gescheiden houden. Muziek als soul en politieke boodschappen voor in de krant of waar anders. Henry, but what did I want to ask you? I mean, the album that we just played this song of, My War, seems like, you know, to put Hitler with a dagger on the cover of your album, you know, is something political or not?
That's Hitler?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
it's the album. That album cover. What is it? It's a hand puppet with some little face on it with a big old knife. No, I don't know whether that's Hitler. He didn't have a little mustache on it, did he? Did he have any swastikas on him or anything? I never met the guy personally. But he was, you know, he probably got pretty insane at times. You know, he's probably a pretty wild cat. But I don't know anything about Hitler, and I know even less about politics. But the whole concept of that record, My War, is internal struggle. You know, sometimes when you don't want to live anymore, or you hate everyone, including yourself, or just the trips you go through inside, which is much more what I'm interested in conveying musically. You know, with music and writing is more of how your soul, heart, more mental. You know, I can't really care about writing some kind of apartheid song, you know.
Nee, dus Henry Rollins zul je ook niet horen op de plaats Sun City van Little Steven. Hij is niet geïnteresseerd in het zingen van politieke boodschappen. Veel meer in, in zijn innerlijke strijd om het bestaan, zou je kunnen zeggen. Henry, would you do one of your poems, please?
Okay. One thing, I don't do any poems. I mean, I hate that word. Doesn't it sound icky?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it sound like a disease or something? I mean...
So what's a better word then?
Stuff!
Stuff. Let's do some stuff.
Get into some stuff.
Okay.
This is really great. I don't know how many of you people in Radio Land can understand me, but we're sitting in a really, really nice room with a bunch of really nice people, and there's some really, really great people here today. And you've heard them on and off. They've been doing some live stuff. And, you know, I really would like to thank all of you for just being you. And believe me, take it from Henry Rollins. Don't ever change, because I love every one of you, and you're all doing a great job. Okay.
That was one example of your stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Please do one other.
Okay, I'll do one more. My father died. He just died. He died in the wintertime. I can almost imagine his face in death, the eyes slightly turned upward, looking like almost every victim I've ever seen of one of the prisoners of the Nazi death camps. He died in the wintertime. Doesn't that seem much nicer to you, like a lot cleaner way to go? Like, you can almost imagine your old man dying in the summertime and seeing his body swelling up and blowing juice out or something in the month of August or something, but no, he died in the wintertime. I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't go to any of the events that preceded the funeral. I missed the two events that I would have liked to have been present at. The first one, his last breath. I would have liked to have been so close to his face on his last breath that he would have breathed right on me. I would have sucked in every single solitary particle of his last breath, and I would have held it for as long as I could, and then I would have expelled it into a jar for later use. You know, I could put it up on the mantelpiece and say, see that? That's my old man's breath. Sucked it out of his face myself. The other thing I missed was the autopsy. I would have loved to have seen his body mutilated in cold, brutal, precise surgical fashion. In my dream, I hover above his emaciated corpse. He looks stupid. He looks pathetic. He looks like dog meat. I hate patheticness. I descend from my perch above and kick in his rib cage with my steel cap boots. The coroner who is conducting the investigation waves me off and asks me to kindly refrain from destroying the corpse until he has finished his investigation. Respecting a job that needs to be done, I sit in a folding chair and read Mad Magazine. But it's very hard for me to concentrate on the contents of the magazine because the cutting and squeezing of my father's corpse is captivating. I ask to help. I am told I can't help as it is normal policy for the civilian to have no part in autopsy proceedings. If I had my way, I would have asked the coroner for my father's dead heart. I would have wrapped it up in tin foil, thrown it in the back of my Peugeot, driven it to my 80-acre estate in Malibu Beach, California, a place that has lots of hot-looking women with blonde hair that looks like a Van Halen dream or something. But anyhow, I would have taken the heart back to my pad, and I would have cooked it in a hearty bouillon. I would have invited a few friends over, and we could sip mineral water and eat leafy green salads and talk about small, non-important matters. And then for the finale, we could dine on my father's heart. And I think that would be a spiritual and intimate send-off. But it would take a lot of intestinal fortitude on my part because I am a vegetarian. But the opportunity to dine on my father's heart is one that is irresistible to me. The end. I wrote that when I was in 3rd grade. Do you believe that? I'm 24 years old. I wrote that when I was 11. No clapping! No clapping! No clapping! I just want to see all of you dropping your jeans right now. Can you say that on radio?
Anything,
Okay,
Mr. Rollins.
We're
Anything.
artists.
We're in Holland, you know.
Artists.
We're in Holland. Oké, tot zover de les anatomie, waarvoor nog enkele doorzetters zijn achtergebleven van de klasse uit Oud-Beierland.
Pretty heavy stuff.
Heavy stuff, yeah.
Benjamin Zephaniah en Henry Rollins, die je zojuist hoorde, kun je allebei vanavond zien performen, oftewel optreden in de Amsterdamse Melkweg. En hier is...